Okay, we're about to play a game called Are They Really an Attachment Avoidant or Are They Just Avoiding Attaching with You? Are they really avoiding attachment or is the truth they're just not that into you? Listen, don't hate me. I'm just a messenger here. Attachment avoidant is simply an excuse we give for the fact we allowed somebody to feed us breadcrumbs and treat us less than we deserve. It is what it is. So let's play it. Let's start our game, shall we? Here, I'm going to share my screen and the game shall begin. Okay. Now, if you're in your 20s, and I might say some of these names wrong here, but hopefully you can see my screen here. If you're in your 20s and your girlfriend is that you believe she's attachment avoidant, do you think she'd still be so avoidant if that other person was Timothy? I'm going to say his name wrong, Chalamet, whatever you call him. Okay, probably not. She'd probably be willing to do. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you have to feel your worth. You feel your worth. You speak your worth. You become more attractive. But if that other person is not so committal, that's because they're not quite so into you. I like to make a simple example to make a very strong point here. Now, if you're a woman and your boyfriend is not so committal, do you think he'd be so much avoiding attaching with you, being vulnerable with you if that other person was, I don't know, I'm going to say her name wrong too, Zendaya? Probably not. And again, I'm just a messenger here. Don't hate me here. Now, this is if you're in your 20s. Now, let's just say you're in your 30s. Again, we're playing a game called Is Your Partner Really an Attachment Avoidant, or are they really just avoiding attaching with you? On that note, everybody has, by that definition, been attached or avoided in some time in their lives. Everybody has been with somebody where they just weren't quite into them and they weren't willing to fully commit as far as level of vulnerability, passion. I mean, it just is what it is here. So if you're in your 30s and your girlfriend is not fully committing to you here. I guess he has a reputation as being a little, not committal, but you get my point here. If that other guy was Harry Styles, do you really think she would be so avoidant, or you think she might be a little bit more open to committing? It is what it is here. Now, this is great here because I'm going to say her name wrong too. Alexandra Daddario, she's 39, I believe, so she still passes in the 30s. But if your boyfriend is not so committal and he had that opportunity with a loving, committed relationship with her, do you think he'd be so avoided, or you think he might be a little bit more open and committed? It just is what it is here. I'm just the messenger here. We'll do one last one here, and again, some of you are really going to hate this final one here, but fuck, we're going to put Superman in the picture here. If your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever that is, and again, things change as relationships change. If she was not so committal, or you try to call her attachment avoidant, you think she'd be so attachment avoidant if all of a sudden Superman came in the fucking picture? Probably not. Lastly, here, you can't go wrong with Kate Beckinsale. You understand the example here. If your boyfriend was not so committal and he had Kate Beckinsale in front of him, you think he might be a little bit more committed, engaged, vulnerable, maybe a little less avoidant? Probably. It is what it is. Listen, everybody has been attachment avoidant at some level in their life. It's just because they're not quite into that person. It is what it is here. I've been through it. That's fucking for sure. So I'm going to close this note here. You can't know your worth. Knowing your worth is not an intellectual experience, but you can feel your worth. Just like physically, right? If you wanted to feel really confident physically, you go to the gym, you lift weights, you take a martial arts course. That's how you build your physical confidence. If you want to feel emotionally amazing or feel your worth, you have to treat your brain like a gym. You have to take yourself to the brain gym and strengthen those neurological networks that allow you to feel a certain way. And the good news for you, even if you're not a celebrity, if you felt better, you speak better. You feel better, you make different decisions. If you feel better, you don't say and do things you shouldn't say or do, and that makes you more attractive. You know the phrase, there's something about them. If you want to make something about you, and you want to make sure you don't go through this bullshit ever fucking again with whatever you believe is attachment avoidant, let's have a conversation. Go to refocusonhappiness.com. I'll help you build a different kind of muscle from the ground fucking floor. But just to close here, attachment avoidant is a bullshit fucking term. Attachment avoidant is an excuse people give to allow themselves to feel better for the fact the other person just wasn't quite so into them. Again, don't hate me here. I'm just a messenger. And by the way, do not pass this off as some kind of, generic TikToker here. I've been coaching for over 10 years. I've coached thousands of men and women. And as a matter of fact, most of my clients are actually women. So it is what it is here. I'm just a messenger here. I'm pretty sure nobody you're to come across has more verifiable video testimonials than I do as far as getting over a relationship challenge in days. Would you like to feel your worth? Let's have a conversation, hopefully sooner rather than later. Take care. Talk soon. Ciao for now.